organization at Eduonix, for which you all have applied. So very warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for participating in today's session. So our topic for today is developing currency converter using React. So can anyone tell me what can be the outcome of this session? Okay, I can see no replies. So I guess you will be getting the answer after the session. So the outcome of this session will
Hello.
be... Hello?
Sorry, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So I think at the end we will be able to take any currency and convert it to the required currency using React application.
Yes, that's right. So also there are many more benefits, which I'll be telling you in short. That is, you'll be having a good knowledge about React, creating your first currency converter application. Then there are various types of currencies on which you will be studying about it. Designing UI of your own currency converter, bootstrapping React projects. So I would like to tell you that there will be also a question and answer round, as well as recording will be also provided to you. Here with this, I would like to introduce to you our very own coach, that very own trainer, Mr. Aditya Dua. So I would like to give you a small introduction about our trainer. He has an experience of 8.5 years in professional application development. With this, he has also achieved a mastery over Android development, Java, and Selenium. His teachings are surely going to help you. So, learners, we are also providing you some offers related to your course, which you will be able to understand, and trainer and myself will be giving you a brief about it at the end of the session. So I would request you all to wait for a few minutes after the session. With this, I would like to welcome Mr. Aditya. Hello, sir.
Hey, Siddhi. Hi. Good evening, Siddhi, and good morning or good evening, everyone, depending on the time zone you are in. So,
Hello, sir.
Yeah, can we get started now?
Yes, surely we can start the session.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you for taking out time from your schedule and attending session with us. I'll start my screen sharing. Guys, let me know if you're able to see my screen. Guys, first of all, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
No, sir. Yes, you are.
So guys, I will request all of you to please be on mute. That will help us, help you in recordings, and the recordings won't be, corrupted. If there are any concerns, you can just reply me in the... Okay, guys, I'm saying we will get started now. Now, this is a live training, and we will be building a currency converter app. Now, before I get started with currency converter, I would like to understand how many of you have fair idea of developing applications in React? Yes, guys, come on. You can quickly type yes or no in the chat. That will be helpful for me. Perfect, 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 perfect. That's good. So quite a learned audience. Perfect. Sure. Okay, how many of you will be working on the React for the first time? Okay, perfect. I'll ensure that you guys, catch up to the best knowledge, and to all those who have already have experience of working in the application. I'll try that you also learn something, and it adds to your knowledge. Now, without wasting time, let me get started with the whiteboard. So this session which we are talking about is a practical example. So, we will be working majorly on the practical. I'll talk about what we will be talking about. So first of all, how many of you are comfortable with Node.js and NPM? Yes, guys, come on, be quick. Let's be quick. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So okay, perfect. So what is Node.js? It's a language which is a JavaScript language, and we generally use Node.js to build our applications, right? So the server side of applications is built in Node.js. Now, what is NPM? NPM is a node package manager. Now, so there is a React, there is Angular, all these libraries exist, right? But where do I know like these libraries will exist? These libraries exist somewhere on a package which we call as npm. Guys, does it make sense? Now, to all of you who are not aware about it, it is a mandate for you that you install npm in order to to learn what we will be doing. Are all of you good with it? Okay, perfect. Now, moving ahead with the with my next topic is, so how many of you have heard of Mern stack? Okay, so okay, yes, come on. What are the guys? What does the Mern stack stands for? Okay, perfect. Mern stack stands for Mongo, Express, React, and Node. Bang on, guys. Very good. That's very good for all of you. So, what is MongoDB? MongoDB is a document-based or a JSON-based database. Express is a a backend language of a more of a framework. React is the front-end library which we'll be using, and Node in itself stands for the server or the runtime where all these things run. Now, you guys have observed that nowadays Mern stack is very popular. How many of you have observed that, guys? Yes or no? So why is Mern stack so popular? Okay, and before I jump on to why this is popular, I'll ask you, what are the other full stacks you are aware about? So one stack is a stack of PHP, where you have a PHP as your API or your backend, HTML, CSS, and JS on the front end. Then I have a Java, then plus again HTML, CSS, and JS on the backend. Then I have .NET, again, either Angular or .NET with jQuery and so on henceforth. Guys, does it make sense? Yeah, Jamstack, perfect. Jamstack is another example. Now, what are the problems with these stacks is that you need to have knowledge of multiple languages and multiple frameworks, correct? Now, think like this, if you are starting to learn coding, it is very difficult to acquire knowledge for all of these. Hence, a requirement came, to have an hence requirement came to have an application or to have a way or a paradigm of approach where all the languages in the stack stands for one language. That is where Stack was born. Here MongoDB, Express.js, React.js, and Node.js. All of these are built in JavaScript, or they are built on the top of JavaScript. Guys, does it make sense? Okay, now moving ahead from here, or moving from here to our next part is, see guys, due to limited time, we are not covering MongoDB, Express. We will be building the React application on the top of the Node project or on the top of a Node, the NPM package, right? So how do I build my first project in React? Okay, so first of all, what is React? Guys, this is a very small hands-on session. So it will focus more on the application side rather than just working on the theory. So like I just spend some 15-20 minutes on theory. I'll spend the remaining 20 minutes on the practical, and I'll reserve the last 10 minutes for any questions that you guys may have. Now, on the introduction side of React, so what is React, guys? Come on, come on. Yes, anyone? Okay, guys, can you hear me, all of you? React is a front-end library. Okay, perfect, perfect, very good. Now, React is a library which is used in the front end, right? So now, but my question is, why is Mern everywhere? Other libraries also in JavaScript. Why is React so popular? Anyone has ever thought about it or anyone is aware about it? Now this, okay, it's fast. Okay. Now see, like Femi, by answering this question that it is fast, you are, like you are putting it to, so when you say it's fast, how have you seen it is fast? So do you have some, some matrices or some, some benchmarking criteria to say this is fast? Sure, one, easy to learn. Okay, I will buy this fact. But see, easy to learn is a stats which is more of, it depends on the learning graph. Let's say I'm a Java developer, React is difficult for me. If I'm a jQuery guy, React is much more simpler for me. Perfect. Muresh, that's a very good response. And so what Femi said is also correct. It is fast, and it is fast because of the virtual DOM which it plays. That's the Sharona, that's the best answer, and it's bang on correct. Now that leaves you with some questions. The first question is that what do you mean by a virtual DOM? Right. So you are saying we are saying it's a virtual DOM, right? So like for all those who are building on the top of React or are waiting to build your careers on React, guys, go and read about virtual DOM. It's just a way in which it's a minimalistic approach in which our application works the best, right? How it does and what all does is a bit theoretical, and we will say it is more out of the scope of this current lecture. Perfect. So you guys have a fair amount of idea. Now, to bring you some context, React is backed by Facebook, and right now is one of the highest starred library on the GitHub also. Yeah, sure. No, that's just one part of it. Internally, like so by saying it, it's more confusing. Think like this. Like let's say, imagine if this is my whole page, right? If I happen to update something over here, right? Let's say, I add a keyword over here. So rather than replacing the whole page, React maintains an internal structure of trees, and on the top of that tree it pulls out the root node or the node to which this element belongs and simply replaces it. The best example of this, if you want to visit or why this even came into picture, the best example can be understood from the Facebook's like button. When you click the like button, the whole page doesn't refreshes, only a part of the page is refreshed. And it is so smooth that the user is not, user doesn't face much of the interference. Guys, make sense? Guys, can we move ahead now? Okay, bang on, guys. Perfect. Now, that brings me to the next question, which is how do I start a project? So I have a command which is I call CRA. What is CRA? CRA stands for a concept, or it's a package, or it's a command to create the React app. The problem was when you were creating the React app, there were multiple modules which are required, right? Having multiple modules to, like let's say to all new developers, it becomes a bit difficult. So what Facebook did was it developed a comfortable environment or a new way to develop the React app in a very simple and a smooth manner. That is what CRA is. And how do we use CRA? We use CRA by using the command which is npx create React app. So whatever is the app. Perfect, guys. Can we get started now? Okay, thank you. Okay, guys, give me a moment. Let me guys, let me turn on my terminal, and then I'll get started with it. Okay. Now, so what it works, okay, most of you will be confused with npm and npx. Yes, this is npx, and it is npx because it is used. It's a package, it's basically a package runner tool which runs on the top of npm 5.5.0, right? Okay, now, but what we will be using, right? So, like I told that we will not be working on the application, we will be majorly working on the just the front end part. So let me share my screen. And how do I get the rates available? So I have a, I will be using a rate which is exchange rates API. I will be using this API to, fetch rates for the current currency. So to all of you who are new or who want to try this, this is the link. Guys, get started with it and simply take it from there. Guys, does it make sense to all of you? So I'm not going into the steps of registration. I'm already having it. The result of the, let me pull out the result. I think I'm already having it. Yeah. So when you run this request, you will get a result like this. Let me say JSON formatter, and so the first API which I will hit will be having the exact result. So if you see, what it does is it gives the base currency, which is euro in this case, and tells the rate for the corresponding all the currencies. Correct? That is what we will be using. Based on this, we will be trying to call some, we will be having some value which will be given up by the user. And based on this, a result or something will be triggered. Guys, make sense? All of you, are you good with it? So this is the API I will be using in my project. Guys, can I move ahead now? Okay, I'll stop my screen sharing and I'll share the VS Code where my entire code will reside, right? Okay, let me escape all of this. Perfect. So what I'll do is I will go over here, I will say open, and basically I will add a folder, and I go to my documents, and over here I say open the webinar, I say open. So I've got the webinar folder now open. I will create a new application, a new project in this specific folder, and we'll start. All of you are able to follow, guys? Anyone who is having any issues still here? Guys, come on, be quick. Any questions? Yeah. Anyone having any questions still here, guys? My screen is blocked. Give me a second, guys. Guys, do you see my screen now? All of you? Okay. This is a typical problem in Zoom. Guys, do you see my screen now? Yes or no? No one is able to see the screen, guys? Okay. I will have to rejoin, guys. I would need 2 minutes then. Wait. Okay, guys, I will be sharing my screen. Let me know if you're able to see my screen now. Guys, do you see my screen now? Perfect. Thank you. So sorry for this mess.
Yes, sir.
I'm really sorry for this. Okay, perfect. So now what I'll do is I will go over here. I will say open a new folder. The folder I create is, let us say I create a new folder in over here, and let me name it as currency converter. Guys, does that make sense? I say open. So I say I trust this author and I get started from here. Guys, anyone having any issues till here now? So I say ls, which means there is nothing present in this folder as of now. Now, what was the command? If you guys recall, npx create react app, and the app I create is my app, simple. So now, guys, this process will take time. Why? So if you see what was happening was there are multiple projects which are being added. React is being added, React DOM is being added, and even to an extent, React scripts and are being added. This project is a a bulky project. That's why so basically, in short, what this will do is it will do all these steps one by one for me. Otherwise, I would have to install so many apps individually, and now I'm able to do it in one go. Guys, does this make sense? I say cd my app, I say ls, and if you see, this is the project on which I am in. Now what I say is I say yarn start. Now yarn is a package manager like npm, Actually, on my other machine, NPM is working, and on this one, the yarn setup is working on. Make sense, guys? So I'll stop my screen sharing. I share my browser with you guys, and this is the default code or the default hello world welcome screen which you see. Okay, guys, anyone having any questions till here now? Okay, that's a very good question, and I'll answer that. So what Shrimna is asking, please wait, it is still creating. Okay, sure, guys, I'll try to be a bit slow. Now, let me take this example. Now, you see, so what is basically, there are two commands. One is a yarn. Yarn is a package manager. So how to do it in? So see, PyCharm is more or less a Python, IDE. So I would recommend you to go with VS Code. It's more comfortable. Even if you're not using VS Code, use any editor for that matter. It's completely fine. And to open the terminal, so on the VS Code, these are the options. There would be an option over here. Click this, you will be seeing anything like problem, output, and terminal. And here you will go. Right? Now, you say npm start, or you say the yarn add, the underlying working still remains the same. The difference is just in how these two process the commands. Guys, can I move ahead now? Guys, we have a lot to cover and we are really short on time. So if that is good with all of you, I will get started with the project. Correct, guys? Can I move ahead now? Now, the first thing which I have to do in my application is, so this whole code that you see on the browser, right? The browser, there's a React logo which is moving on. All this is coming from this specific code, which is the function app. Now, I don't want to use it because I will be creating my own example. So I would simply, what I would do is, I would simply remove this part of the code like this. Guys, does this make sense? Now, let us get started with our own project one by one. So what I do is I say import React. Now import React and I say use effect. Now, use effect and use state are two hooks which I will be using, which are coming from React. Now, again, what are these hooks and what do these do? They basically bind the state. And if you want to get into detail for this, it makes sense to read it, from a learner's perspective. Right now, we are focusing majorly on the application side, or how do I actually develop a UI, right? Now, what I do is I simply get started by taking a constant, which is a base URL. So if you guys recall, what was the URL? So if you guys recall, give me a second, let me paste the URL from the browser where I had copied it. If you guys recall, this was my base URL. I had already run this for you once. So I get this base URL over here. Perfect, guys. Now, oh, sorry. I already have the component for app created, which is my function app. And I get started over here by adding up things. So what is the first thing which you need? So first thing is I need a amount which will be there and the currency. The second amount and the second currency. Guys, can I move ahead now? Come on, guys, be quick, yes or no? So constant, I say the first one I take is the currency options, and I then set the currency options. Perfect. I'm initializing them with null right now. Now, what is the next thing? The from currency. I copy it. So what is the from currency, guys? It will be an option which user will set. And on similar lines, there will be a setter for from currency. Guys, making sense to all of you till now? Now, so what is the next parameter now? To currency. Perfect. I take to currency from here and I set it to set. So I have the from currency, the to currency. Now I need the two amounts. And other than the amount, what else I would need? I would need the exchange rate based on which I will process. So I say exchange rate. I copy exchange rate. I say set exchange rate. Make sense? Now, from currency is there. The name of currency is there for to and from. Now, what I need is the source or the amount on which I have to process. I say amount. I say set amount. Now, initially, for the sake of simplicity, I will always assume it is 1 so that there are no breaking points, right? And the amount, the final one is amount in from currency. And I simply copy it and I say set amount in from currency and I say make sense, guys? Now, what I have to do is I have got the amounts. Now I am supposed to look for the parameters and define the functions and call the API on which I will get this entire JSON file. Perfect, guys? So what I do is I first define the fetch for this logic. So what I do is I say use effect. And what is the effect I will be using? I am using the effect to call the base URL. I say fetch, and what I fetch the base URL. Once I fetch this base URL, I say then the result. And if in case the result is coming, the result is to be converted to JSON. And once I get the JSON, the next thing is I am now supposed to set the entire data in all the fields. Guys, does this part make sense to all of you? Now, what is in the data? Basically, the data is holding the data for all the rates. Basically, these are nothing but the rates which I will be using. Guys, I would request to please be on mute. Okay, guys, can I move ahead now? Yes, guys, is it going interesting till now? So now I take the constant of first currency. I need to identify which is the first currency. And what is the first currency? From the result set which I have got, from this result set, whatever is the first rate which is coming up, this is what I'm converting to right now. I say object.keys. Data.rates and I pick up the first one. Now then I say set currency options. So what are the options which I have to set? If you recall, this was the options. Now I have to set what is the base and which one I'm supposed to convert from, right? So I set these parameters over here. I say data.base. What is base? If you see the, let me show you the, okay, I was having it over here. Give me a second. If you want to have a look at the sample JSON file, this is the JSON file I'm talking about. And the base rate over here is this one. Euros, right? I say I'm converting it to, I'm taking up the base, and then I'm saying, or I'm converting it, or I'm getting the data.rates. So what is data.rates? This rates is the entire folder or the entire sub document which is present over here under this document. So I am saying, give me all the keys. So this object is having keys. So whatever keys are there, give me all the keys, data.rates. Make sense? Now I set up the from currency. So what is from currency? From currency is the base currency, and the to currency is this one. I'm just picking up the first currency for right now, because if I don't set it up, like it won't, it will give me the error again. Okay, so you want, okay, this function, what it is doing is, okay, let it run. Once it runs, it will, you guys will be able to relate with it, don't worry. I say data.rates, give me the rates for the first currency. So basically, whatever variables I had taken up, I have been able to set all of them. So I have set the exchange rate, I have set the to currency and the from currency now. Guys, does this make sense? Now, I have to apply the logic to or the function which will actually do the computation for me. So I say let to amount and from amount. If amount in, what it means is, if this amount exists, then you are saying the from amount is equal to amount, which is being passed over here. If this is this one, then what will be the to amount? The to amount will be the from amount into the exchange. Now, but if in case you are doing the reverse, you can even say, no, I don't want to add this. I want the reverse of the, so like I don't want it from and to. I want to give the from, you give me the to, right? In that case, the to amount is equal to the amount so either you multiply or you divide depending on the scenario. Now, if in case any change happens, I simply write the functions to call the change. So I say function handle from amount change. Now, if in case the from amount has changed, I say set amount is equal to e dot target. Now, this is what I'm doing right now is a way to get the value from the event. So I get the amount from here and I set this, I call the setter of this as true, just to differentiate which one was called. And if in case this is the other one, I say handle to amount change, the exact thing remains the same. I just replace this by false. Guys, does this part make sense? Now, what I have to generate is I have to have a currency, or I have to create like a row which will show me the currencies, right? So I go over here in my project, I create a new file. I name this file as currency row.js. So what is in the currency row? Guys, like it may be a bit fast for all of you, but don't worry, once we run this, you will have a better idea of all of this. I say export default function, and I am saying it is the currency row. Now, this row will have some properties which are nothing but all of the functions which I have defined. So the first step which I do, I declare a constant. So what are all those constants? The first constant is my currency options, which I have. Then next is the selected currency. Then next is the on change currency. Basically, all the, like all the values which are coming up from the properties I am passing. And I will show you how these are being utilized. Now, a currency might change, an amount might change, and if the amount is changed, I get the amount. And all of this comes from the properties. I say return. Now, what I return, a very simple line of code, which is I create a div out of it. The div has an input type is equal to number. The class name is input. What is the value? The value is the amount which the user is passing. If in case you change it, so on change is a is a attribute for this one. I am simply saying on change amount. Guys, does this part make sense? Now, after this, what, either you could change the amount or you could change the entire currency which you are having, which is a drop down. So you say select value. So what is the value over here? The value is the selected currency. In case of on change, I call the on change currency over here. Now, but there could be multiple, multiple results or multiple currencies present. For that, I say currency options.map. This is that currency option which I'm talking about. Now, what I'm saying, this is what it is having a currency, it's basically a map of all the currencies like INR, USD, euros, and all of that. So what I say, whatever is a currency is an option basically for me. And how you have to use this option is you create a new HTML, option or a new select field basically, where the key of this one is the option. And even the value is option. And what you show to the user is also option. You close the option. So now you have got the minimalistic design for the options or for the currency option. This is that we have to show. right? I will go to my app.js, and now I have to play around to call all those basic small components multiple times in order to, sorry, in order to show you the result. Okay, I create a h1 tag saying currency converter. Now, what I do, I am now calling the currency row. Currency row comes from the class which I have created over here, or the new component. Now, all of you, what were the 5 parameters of all of these? The 5 parameters were this one. I will simply copy them over here and paste it. Don't worry, these errors will go. It is just since I've copied them, it is not liking the shortcut. So what is the options? So the options are the currency options. The selected currency is the from currency. Now, what is next is the function. What will happen if the currency is changed? I have to call the function which is, okay, if currency is changing, I have to call the function. Did I miss that function, guys? Okay, yeah. Sorry, my bad, guys. Now, whenever I'm changing this currency, I just have to set this up, right? So what I do is over here, I simply come up in my on change currency. I trigger an event which says set from currency. Now, what currency I'm setting? e.target.value. So what is value? Value comes up from this one. Yeah, I will rapidly set a div. Don't worry. Let me complete this part. Now, what is if in case you change the amount? I call the handle from amount change, and the amount is equal to from amount. Perfect, guys. Now, this is the from part. Now, how will the to part look like? Now, first of all, there will be a div in the middle. Let me skip this part. This will be equals. So, I will be trying to equate the two. Now, the currency options remain the same. The from is replaced by to. The set from is replaced to set to. The from again is replaced to 2, and this from is then replaced to 2. I close my application, I close this app, and now what I have is a application which will convert my currency by calling the API. Guys, does it make sense? All of you. Now, anyone having any questions still here? Guys, anyone having any questions still here? Assuming that there are no questions, I will simply run a command, which is npm start. Let us see if it works or not. Okay, it says I'm okay. Now, what I'm missing is just a CSS file. Once I apply that, Yeah, it will be fast. See, the idea is, to build an application, and it will be fast, but yes, with time it will be fine. Now, so I convert it. This is the drop down. This drop down is not coming. Let me see what is wrong with it. Okay, give me a second, guys. Okay. Let me see, does it works? Okay. It is converting the first one. Guys, let me see what wrong I have done. Okay. This one is fine. This one is fine. This one is fine. Why is it not working? 0. Okay. I got it. Just one of the problem was in this one, and so now you see Europe euros to AED. Now if I change euros to INR, I get the exact value 87. I change the amount 123 is this one, 100 is this one. Let us try this over here. 100 EUR euros to INR. So it is on today's rate. What rate we have taken is a bit older one, but this is how it will work. Guys, does it make sense? Now comes the part where we have to apply the beautification, and that part is pretty simple and pretty straightforward. I have to, so I already have those ready. I'm not so I've applied a body for the for the body tag, the h1, the input, and the equals. So it is becoming a bit more elongated and looks more beautiful in the center of the screen now. Yes, guys, anyone having any questions on this part? So that is how, like we were to build a very basic and a very simple example of a currency converter application. Yeah, guys, you will be getting the code. The code will be shared with you. Don't worry about that. But any questions anyone is having? Now, let me relate this with the code which we did, right? Okay. So basically what is happening is, so all these parameters are defined and these parameters are used at respective places. The only game is being played in this function. What I'm doing is I'm getting the base URL. You can see that I am inspecting it. And if you see, if I go to the network, if I refresh this one, you will see that I'm calling the latest rates API, the one which I was supposed to call. Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm sharing the wrong screen. Sorry for that. So you see, I'm calling the latest API now. So each time I refresh, a new API is being called, which will fetch the latest rates. Guys, does this make sense to all of you? Now, how it is working, if you see the response of this one, it is having a base and the first one. So what I'm saying is, by default, if the application is having so when the application opens by default, it picks up the base, which is Europe or Euro, and the default, which is the first one which comes. And the first one which comes is the AED one. Guys, does this part make sense to all of you? So I'll stop my screen sharing right now and I will share the PPT, which you guys can see, and we will continue from there. Okay. Okay, I think I'm not able to. Give me a second, guys. Guys, while I'm working on this thing, any questions any one of you is having? Yeah, guys, just give me a second. Let me just open the. Okay, I'll start my screen share now. So, guys, like most of you might be feeling that, like it was quite advanced and it was quite difficult. See, that is why we have, a full program, which is a live online e-training. Right now, you felt that it was quite overwhelming for some of you because you were quite new to it. In the program, we talks about the basics. We start from the very scratch, take you through the entire example in a step-by-step approach, covering it in over 22 days of period. And we have around, this will include approximately 40 hours of live training. Right now, we have limited it to 50 seats. And it will be a step-by-step hands-on live training. It will not be a recorded session, but live training where you will be interacting with the trainer live in the class. I will be taking some of these sessions over here. And in order to give you an experience, these are the projects, these are the small applications or small parts of the what do you say, basically this will be the entire curriculum which we'll be talking about: HTML, CSS, React, JS, intro, hooks, router, material UI, Redux. That will complete the front end part, and then we'll move on to the Node, the Express, the REST API, MongoDB. Then we will have MERN API, MERN app development. So all of this, the front end, this part, sorry, my bad, and this one and this one. These are examples or projects. In total, this project, this application will have some of the projects which are pointed out. Instagram double-click option, a reminder application. We'll be trying to build a COVID vaccine slot booking system, a counter application just to keep a random count, and a file reader application, a code-based application where you actually, implement all four parts of the, of the API interaction. We'll be discussing in depth on the database schema. We'll be reading from Excel file, and we'll be exploring an example of a library system. That is what the project will look like. For all those who are, who are in this live in this session, this is what the, what we have in offer for you. The flat price of is $150, but since you are in the webinar, you are being given a 20% discount, and it is available at flat $120. The coupon code is WebL, which is the webinar on live MERN stack. Now, in the chat, you guys have got the link of the session with the coupon already applied. And this coupon is valid for the next 24 hours. I would request you to make a most of it. And I hope I was able to add some value to all of you. And any questions, we will wait for a few more minutes, and that will be all from my side. Any questions, guys, anyone is having? Okay, once again for you, this is the, what do you say, the coupon using which you can get a discount. Anyone having any questions, guys? Okay, guys, for the source code of the project, it will appear, in your LMS, so don't worry about it. It will be generated over there, so don't worry about it. Yes, we will be having the middleware of Node also being covered. Okay, so guys, that will be all. So I think on the certificate, so all of those will be, yes, all of those parts are available. You have a support team which will look into your queries if you need something help. So it is all mentioned on the link. You can try to, okay, wait, I'll hand it over to Siddhi, who will take it more, who will take it from here. Siddhi, you there on the call?
Hello. Yes, sir. So basically, students, the thing is that if you buy this online training Monstack e-degree program, we are providing this on a coupon code or WEBLMRN, which is available for next 24 hours. So it will be a flat of $120 instead of $150. The offer is not valid for a longer period of time. So you can use this code provided in the chat box to avail this offer. Make sure to enroll into this course if you are interested. And also the link for the registration is also provided in the chat box. The recording and the PPT will also be provided on your dashboard. So I'll just check. One second. If you buy the course, definitely you will be provided the certificate. After completion of course, certificate is provided. And the coupon code is mentioned in the chat box. Kindly check it once. And also I have shared one feedback link. So I want you all to feed that feedback once it is done. In Indian rupee, you can convert it into 50. Like multiply it by 50, you'll be getting your answer. It's on the dollar price, which is there. Are there any more questions? It's based on the current dollar price. Yes. The feedback link is provided. Once again, I'll provide it again in the chat box. You can check it once. You will be provided a proper training. There will be guidance also. Career guidance will be provided. Interactive quizzes and MCQs will be provided. There will be 24/7 assistance by your mentor. Any more questions? I'm sharing the feedback link again in the chat and also the coupon code. Kindly check it once. Are there any more questions? No, you can also watch the sessions offline. The sessions are recorded once. You can watch it online, offline as well. Yes, certificate after completion of the program is provided.
Yes, the deployment perspectives are covered. We try to cover some examples either on the Netifly or on the Heroku or on the Firebase side. Those are covered.
Sneha, the feedback link is shared above. Can you check once? If you don't find it, I'll share it again.
Guys, any further questions anyone is having? If no, we will all thank you for taking out time from your schedule.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate everyone's presence. Thank you, Aditya sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend and enjoy your day. See you. Bye bye. Till then, take care.